guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would reply to a suggestion that I got from one of you viewers recently, and the question was, or it wasn't that much of a question, it was just a suggestion like, would you ever consider doing a video about the tools you use when you create your dolls? And it occurred to me that I hadn't really done one of those, not properly anyways, so I thought, why not? It will be kind of easy to make a video about it, so here we go. Hi, hands, they're needed for this. First of all, clay. Like I've mentioned before, I'm using the Das clay. I don't know how to pronounce that correctly, but I say Das. Like, yeah. It's an air drying paper clay. In this particular one is in white, and I really like it. It's kind of, well, to me, in my eyes, it's kind of cheap because a lot of my friends who make dolls, they buy the La Doll clay or the Premier clay, which are also air drying paper clays, but they're way more expensive and they come in like half the packages of Das, and they're kind of hard to get my hands on in this country, so I stick to Das. I think it's good, and I've used it for both Ask and Kostya, as well as my other tiny experiments. As you can see, I don't really use that many tools. Well, I don't think there are that many. And there are basically only a couple of them that I use often. Obviously, knives or scalpels in this case are important. This is the one I use the most, just a regular knife. I have a, what is it called? A whetstone? Whetstones? To sharpen them every now and then. And as you can see, it's very well used. And I figured, okay, I could clean these up for the video, but I figured, you know, this is what they actually look like, because I use them every single day. So why not? You're gonna make a mess when you make dolls, and this is the truth. This is my second knife that I use. Oh, I should also mention I have a second one of these, and multiple blades too. But this is the second knife that I use. It's kind of in a weird shape, but I can reach far into different doll parts, and I can make slightly rounder shapes, and it's kind of bendy, which I like. So sometimes when there are areas or issues that I can't get my hands on that easily, I tend to use this knife. Very handy. And next up is just a regular pencil. I use this to mark which areas I need to remove. I do this by just doing some quick lines like this, and which areas I need to add to, and I just circle them and make like a plus mark or something, just for myself really, to keep track on things. And yeah, it's well used as well. But yes, I use this to mark things that I need to change, and for test stringing dolls. Just a regular pencil, nothing weird. And 2 brushes, one round, one flat. Before, I've mostly used these for when I'm priming my doll with color. I used to use gesso paint, which is kind of an acrylic paint that you use to prime your canvases or, you know, paintings overall. But I think I'm going to switch from using gesso and start using some kind of spray instead. I did use Mr. Surfacer for the end layers of priming for Ask, but I think I'm gonna try to use a cheaper version of Mr. Surfacer for Kostya, but use that more than gesso, or maybe exclusively. But I used to use these brushes to paint gesso all over Ask. And now I have come to realize that they can be kind of good if you're sculpting, let's say, a face with lots of details. And you can use these to wet, like make the clay wet and actually shape things with them. You gently brush on clay, really wet clay. It's kind of, I think it's really good. You should try it out if you're having issues with sculpting faces and tiny details. It's kind of good. And there is clay stuck to this. Oh well, whatever. Here we go. 2 brushes. And here are the actual sculpting tools that I tend to use, plus 1 extra. This is the extra one. I haven't used it much at all, but I'm going to, because when sculpting faces, I'm imagining these tips will come in very handy. Nostrils and eyes, eye wells. Do you say eye wells? Oh, when you're sculpting eyes, they come in handy. Let's see here. This is currently my favorite tool because I use this thing the most out of all my tools. It's really good. And this one is kind of similar, but it's way thinner. I use it for details and whatnot. You can just, I don't use one tool for one exclusive thing, really. You can use your tools in multiple ways. You just gotta be creative about it. Whoops. This used to be my favorite tool. It's very similar to the one I just showed you. It has a slightly longer spoon-ish looking end, which is still very nice. I still use it. And I accidentally bent, hello, focus camera. I accidentally bent the end of this, which you can see here. But it's actually just one long end. And I use this one for opening up soft parts of the inside of joints, like when I make tiny holes for the elastic thread to go through and whatnot. I use this one. And again, all of these are kind of similar. This one looks like a knife, but it's not really a knife, but you can sort of use it when doing detail work in the face, or just if you want to carve out something really quick but don't have a knife at hand, then this one is really good. And this is a tinier version of my favorite tool, so this one is often mixed with the bigger one, just because different sizes is always good. They're good to have. And almost last but not least are these, and I just lost the word for them, but I use these on the inside of joints or in tiny places when I want to remove dried up clay. Do you call these files? I don't think you call them files. We say fil in Swedish. But yeah, you just kind of, do like this. Oh gosh, I lost the word. I'm sorry, guys. But I have these in several sizes and looks. But these two are the main ones that I use right now. So yeah, those are my main favorite sculpting tools that I use. And sanding is a big thing for this. So sandpaper, naturally. And you can actually see how gritty or fine they are here. This one is pretty rough. And I think, yeah, this one too. I tend to use higher numbers on my sandpapers when I get more into the finishing stages of the doll. And I mentioned briefly about test stringing dolls, and I use this thing for this. Mainly you just, oh yeah, it's from Dolmore by the way, just in case. Hello Dolmore, have some free advertising. It's for pulling the string into doll parts and keeping it there. Also, I pull heads on with this. It's not optimal for it. I really should get one of those real head pulling tools. I don't know what they're called. But it's really good. It's flexible. I don't know if you can see that, but it's flexible. I'm really happy that I bought this tool. It's helped my fingers a lot from not getting bitten, so to speak, by various doll parts over the years. So very good tool. And I think this is it. This is basically all the tools that I use. You can get them very cheaply from eBay or Amazon, and they're nothing fancy. I mean, if you want this one, look at Dolmore's website, but there are several doll companies out there who offer these in various shapes and sizes, so there's no right or wrong here, guys. You just need to get one if you feel like you need it. I felt like I needed it because I was very clumsy when test stringing dolls, so I got it, and it saved me a lot of pain and time. So I recommend it if you, I don't know, have the funds for it and feel like you need it. Otherwise, you can find other various tools in your home or in your, I don't know, garage or whatever. You really don't need a lot of fancy equipment to make good art. As long as you learn how to use them in your own way, you're gonna get creative and you're gonna find ways of making everyday tools work too. So yeah, if you're looking to start sculpting dolls, you don't have to start with these. You can start with the things you have in your kitchen, in your home. Just be creative about it. Alright, that's it for today, and I will be back on Friday as always with more sculpting. See you later, guys!